Here are some conditionals. They say let P be the statement that angle A is acute and Q be the statement angle B is acute. So statement 1 wants us to translate angle A is acute if and only if angle B is acute. Now this is something we're not really used to. If and only if, sometimes abbreviated IFF, is a way of stating that if this is true, it implies that's true, and if that's true, it implies that's true. An example might be a statement like this. Let me give you an example. A triangle is an equilateral if and only if all angles in triangle are 60 degrees. So you know you have an equilateral triangle if all angles are 60 degrees. Well, if all angles are 60 degrees in a triangle, then it must be an equilateral. This is implying things going both ways. If it meets this criteria, then this is true. If this is true, then that's true. It's a way of sort of putting two statements in one. So up here what you and I have is angle A is acute if and only if angle B is acute. So A is acute is represented by P. So right here you and I have P. And it's implying angle B is acute, which is represented by Q. But it also says Q is implying P. Well, instead of coming here and writing Q implies P, we simply make this a go both ways, sort of an arrow going in both ways, a double-edged sword. P implies Q and Q is implying P. That's what we do when we have this if and only if. It basically is implying that the converse is also true. That's when you flip the statements in an if-then statement. So that's what we have for this first piece. Now the next one, they want you to simply recognize what does the word or do. It says angle A is acute or angle B is acute. Well, A is acute is represented by P, so we simply put P, or this is the symbol for or. It's an upside down V. So that stands for or, and then Q, because angle B is acute right there. Finally, they have this statement, therefore, angle A is acute and angle B is acute. So we sort of need translation for the word and translation for the word therefore. Therefore symbol, the shorthand notation, is a triangle. So we basically are making this triangle here. That stands for therefore. Angle A is acute is represented by P. The word and, where there was or, we do it in upside down. Almost looks like a capital A, but you just don't cross it. That's an easy way to remember that and is this letter right here, this little symbol right here. And then angle B is acute is Q. So there we've sort of learned some things. If and only if is a double-edged sword. Or is represented by basically a V. Therefore is represented by a triangle. And is represented by almost a capital A, but there's no little line coming across to make it an A.